for update, R for read, D for delete. Okay, next one. Persistence technology or what? Framework. It is a technology or framework using which we develop what? Persistence logic to perform persistence operations. Nothing but what? Code operations. Nothing but what, guys? Code op. Okay. JDBC is persistence technology. Hibernate is what? Persistence framework. Spring Data JPA is what? Persistence framework, right? Yeah, single line statement I am giving covering all this terminology. Persistence technology or framework is given for persistence logic development to perform persistence operation, nothing but code operation. Okay, to perform code operation on the persistent data of persistence store. On the persistent data of persistent store means database software kind of thing. It's something like this, guys. JDBC is a persistence technology that is given for performing what? Persistence operation, nothing but code operations on the persistence data of persistence store, nothing but database software. So as long as you are learning Spring Data module, keep one thing in mind. At the end, you are going to do persistence operations, nothing but code operation. Update, insert, delete, select operation. Nothing extra, nothing less. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. Right. Yeah. What are the limitations of this persistence store? What? File as the persistence store. We can use database software as persistence store or files as the persistence store. But as a file, some limitations are there as per for persistence stores, guys. Shall we start understanding them, guys? Shall we start analyzing that? Okay, why we should use database software when files are already there as what? Persistence stores. Cannot store huge amount of data. Array, SBI, by merging all subsidiary banks, SBI merged as what? World's biggest bank, having 40 crore customers or 50 crore customers. Observe, earlier we used to have SBH, SBM, State Bank of Mysore, SBT, or State Bank of Travancore. All these to be principal states in India, right? Because for entire India, SBI, for each principal state, separate SBI, SB, State Bank they have started. But as part of merging process, all SBA subsidiaries are merged to SBA are not there. With that, it has got 40 CR customer. Can I think about storing 40 CR customer data in one file? Practically impossible or not there. No security. No password protection, nothing, guys. Anyone can open, can modify. No support for SQL. Can you write SQL queries on files, guys? No support for applying constraint. Can you apply primary key, foreign key constraint, guys? No. Retrieving data by applying multiple conditions is very complex or not? I want to perform. See, if it is a database, we have queries to write. But here it is possible, guys? No. Performing delete and update operations is quite complex or not? They performing what? Delete and update operations is very, very complex or not there? Next one. We cannot keep files in what? Relationship. Can we keep files in relationship? Parent-child kind of thing? No. Comparing one file with other file is very complex process or not there? To overcome to overcome the above problems, we need to take the support of what? Database software as a persistence store. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Okay, super. Now listen, concentrate. Spring Data is a main module. It is having a lot of sub-modules. It is having sub-modules like Spring Data JPA, Spring Data JDBC, Spring Data MongoDB, and etc. Many sub-modules are there or not there? Nearly 30 plus sub-modules are there in Spring Data, Spring Boot Data module. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Spring Data JPA, Spring Data MongoDB. Spring Data JPA we use for interacting with this SQL database software. Spring Data MongoDB we use to interact with what? NoSQL database software, right? Okay, actually in Spring Data main module, nearly 30 plus submodules are there, guys. But right now we are worried about only two submodule. One is a data JPA submodule to interact with what? SQL database software. Other one is what? MongoDB submodule to interact with what? MongoDB database software. What software, guys? To interact with MongoDB database software. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yeah. Yeah. Java application interacts with what, guys? Files. Same Java application also interacts with what, guys? RDBMS database software. What is there? To interact with the files, it takes the support of IO string. To interact with RDBMS database, Oracle MySQL, we have two options. One is JDBC, one is OR mapping. So far, you have worked with the JDBC, right? And in our mini project also, we have dealt with what? JDBC. But that is not great. We have other alternate. What is what? OR map. Today, our focus is understanding what is OR mapping. Focus. Because using Hibernate, using Spring ORM module, Spring Data JPA module, the way we write persistence logic comes under what? OR mapping, object relational mapping. What is that? That is called OR mapping, object relational mapping. Is that clear, my dear? Convinced or not, my dear? Super. Okay, that's good. Great. Files are not good persistence stores. So they cannot be used in medium, large scale projects. What projects? Database softwares are good as persistence stores. If you use plain JDBC as the persistence technology to interact with what? RDBMS database software. Okay, the following limitations are there. That means now I am going to explain. See, OR mapping is good, but already we have JDBC. What are the problems? What are the limitations that are there with what? JDBC. You must understand that one are not there. Number one, JDBC logics use what? SQL queries. And these SQL queries are what? Database software dependent queries are not there. See, 70% queries are common all database. 30% changes time to time, right? Say something, my dear. %30 changes what? Time to time. Changing the database software of the project is very difficult or not? You have written page persistence logic using JDBC. Database change, query change. Query change, it means JDBC code changes or not. So changing database software in the middle of the project development or production is complex process or not there. See, initially we thought small project, MySQL is used. Later it has become bigger project. We want to go to Oracle. Again, you have to modify persistence logic or not there. It's a really complex process, my dear, or not there. Okay. We need to write lots of boilerplate code, nothing but repeating code or not. The code that repeats across the multiple parts of the project, either with no changes or with what? Minor changes, is called as what? Is called as what? Is called as what? Boilerplate code. Are you getting my point there or not? Super. Okay, next. Throws all its exceptions as what? Checked exception. So exception handling is compulsory or not there? Because checked exception, try catch is compulsory, or at least throws is compulsory. So when you go for try catch, exception handling is mandatory, right? Yes. Result set object is not serializable object by default. So to send its data over the network, we need to convert result set object data to what? Other collections data. What data, guys? We need to send result set object data to what? Other collections data. Are you getting my point there or not? All collections are what? Serializable by default. All collections are what? Serializable by default. I hope you are understanding my statement, my dear. Come on, everyone. Okay. Give me 1 minute, guys. Yeah. Checked exception. So whenever you execute select query, you will get a result set object. Unfortunately, it is not a serializable object. Can we send non-serializable object data over the network? For that one, what we have to do? We have to convert each record into one Java Bean class object. We should add all Java Bean objects to one list collection. Then we have to think about sending that list collection over the network. It's a painful process. Already we have done that painful job in what? Mini project. Yes or no, guys? Why collection? Because all collections are by default serialized. To overcome all these problems, we have to think about going forward. OR mapping persistence logic with the support of ORM frameworks like Hibernate, IBTs, and etc. Interesting or not there? Sir, you are not saying Spring Data JPA. No, no. ORM frameworks means Toppling, Hibernate, OJB, all these are ORM framework. Then what about Spring Data JPA? Spring Data JPA is a module of Spring or Spring Boot framework that provides abstraction on ORM framework. Bop ka bop. Yes or no? Na? Already Hibernate is a framework providing abstraction on technology. On the Hibernate, who is providing abstraction? Spring Data JPA or Spring ORM. Spring ORM is old style and Spring Data JPA is new style. Convinced, my dear. Got the clarity, my dear. Come on. Abstraction on abstract. And that's why Spring Boot frameworks are great framework. They're not only providing abstraction on technologies, they're sometimes providing abstraction on what? Frameworks. Providing abstraction on what? Framework. Is it not interesting, my dear? Come on. Convinced with me, my dear, or not? JPA is a software specification. Wait. To overcome all these problems, use OR mapping persistence logic with the support of ORMR JPA software like Hibernate, IBAT, Toplink, and what, etc. Okay, guys. JPA is a software specification having rules and guidelines to develop ORM framework. This is a JPA specification. Hibernate is one ORM framework. Toplink is one ORM framework. Eclipse Link is one ORM framework. And these are other ORM frameworks that are there in the market or not there. Say something, my dear. Come on. Super. JPA is a theory of OR mapping or ORM and practical of what? OR. JPA is theory. ORM framework is a practical one. Are you getting my point? Sir, what's the advantage of this OR mapping, sir? JDBC style persistence logic is SQL persistence logic? They are objects based persistence logic. What is there? Database software independent object based persistence logic. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Everyone getting my point there, Arnold? Super. What is ORM mapping and what is ORM? Mapping every record to an object of Java class or Java bean is called as what? OR mapping or ORM. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Everyone understanding my statement or not there? JDBC technology is a specification and JDBC driver software is what? Implementation of that specification, right? Servlet technology is a specification and servlet container software is what? Implementation of that specification. JPA technology is specification and ORM frame softwares like what? Hibernate are the implementation softwares of that specification. What do you say, guys? Come on. Understanding my statement, my dear? Okay. So very simple. It's the process of making Java class with DB table. Java class properties with DB table column and making objects of Java class representing what? DB table records. Having synchronization between them. What do you mean by having synchronization between them? Okay. What do you mean by having synchronization between them? Are you getting my point there? If you modify object data reflects to DB table rows. If you modify DB table rows, okay, reflects to object. That is called synchronization or not? Already we discussed in the launch of ORM frameworks. Remember? Very beginning we discussed some of these points. You and me are traveling good there because whatever I am teaching, you are understanding. Whatever you are asking, I am clarifying. I am also understanding your queries. Then we both are in good synchronization or not there. Two batsmen are running well between the wickets. Can I say they are in good synchronization or not? Can I say they are in good synchronization or not there? Please respond. Okay. No reservation for 33% for not responding. Please open your mouth and respond, right? Okay. See, example, entity class. What class, guys? The Java bean who is going to be linked with the DB table is called what? Entity class. Comfortable or not there? Class employee, ENO, ename, salary. Here are my getter setter method. Here are my getter setter method. Are you comfortable, my dear? Class employee, ENO, ename, salary, getter setter method. That's good. This is mapped with table. This is mapped with table. Tell me, guys. These are the properties mapped with what? DB table columns. These are the properties mapped with what? DB table columns. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Class is mapped with table. Properties are mapped with what? Column. This is OR mapping configuration. We do this configuration either using XML or using what? Annotation. Either using XML or using what? Annotate. Check it out. Check it out. This is Java application having objects. This is DB table having records. EMP table 3 column. First object is representing first record now, boss. Second object is representing second record now, my dear. Come on. First object is representing first record. Second object is representing I want reply, my dear. Okay, now tell. I modify salary here. That is reflecting to column data or not? You modify column data. That is reflecting to object or not? See, guys, if we modify object data reflecting to column, If you modify column data reflecting to object are not there. Say something, my dear. Come on. Convinced with me or not there? The modification done in object data reflecting to column value. If you do modification in column value, it is reflecting to what? Object. This is what we need to focus or not there. Okay. This see. The modification done in objects reflecting to table rows. The modification done in table rows reflecting to what? Object. So this is called synchronization between objects and table rows are not there. Is it not interesting aspect, my dear? Come on. Here, we give all persistence instruction to ORM software in the form of objects. Come on. And ORM framework generates database software specific SQL queries internally. Since these objects are database software independent and we are not going to deal with what? Queries. We are going to deal with only object. So the objects will remain same though you change the database software. So can I say this OR mapping persistence logic is what? Database software independent persistence logic are not there. For example, using ORM framework, ORM mapping or ORM framework, I want to perform record insertion activity. What I do? I create object for entity class, fill up the data, give that object to ORM framework like Hibernate, right? What Hibernate do? That is interesting. Hibernate reads object data, generates a JDBC code plus insert query as required for database software that we have picked up. If it is Oracle, Oracle query, if it is MySQL, MySQL query, and happily inserts the record or not. And it happily, literally inserts the record or not there. Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. It happily, literally inserts the record or not there. Guys, is there any audio video issue? No, na? Upendra Luddu is requesting you to enable multiple presenter. What do you want to share, Upendra? Okay. First, listen my sharing. Okay. Now listen. See, one thing is clear. Still JDBC is there, SQL query is there, but you are not writing. That is dynamically generated by whom? Hibernate. And moreover, it will be generated as required for underlying database software. What do you mean by that? If underlying database is Oracle, it generates as required for Oracle. If underlying database software is MySQL, it is generated for as required for MySQL or not there. Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. Yeah, let's see. I want to see once record is inserted, this object and record is in synchronization or not there. This object and record will be in synchronization. What do you say, guys? Super perfect. That's great. Okay. Now, I want to update the record. Update the object and give that updated object to Hibernate. Hibernate generates update query and updates the record. Is there any SQL query? It internally generates, but as a programmer, are you dealing with any queries? No. No, I want to read the record content. You print the object data. Indirectly, you are printing what? SQL record. You print the object data. Indirectly, you are printing what? Record data. Are you getting my point there? So, but lastly, what is next, guys? What is next, guys? I want reply, guys. Huh? Delete the record. Nothing but delete the object. Delete the record. Nothing but what? Delete the. Comfortable, my dear. Come on, everyone. Understanding my statement or not there? Delete the record means delete the object. Delete the record means what? Delete the object. Comfortable, my dear. Come on, everyone. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Oh. Delete the record means we are deleting this one. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. No, listen. If you want to delete the record, you take the object and give to Hibernate, delete it. But it will not delete the object, it will delete the record represented by what? Record represented by object. And it keeps the object ready for garbage collection or not there. So now onwards in Hibernate, saving object means we are not saving object in database. We are saving the data of the object to the table as a record. Updating object means we are really not just updating object, guys. We are updating the record represented by the object. Come on. Deleting object means is really not deletion of the object. We are deleting the record represented by the object. Load the object means what? It is not just loading object, guys. Loading the record into the object. Are you getting my point? So now onwards, ORM terminology sounds like Java objects terminology, but they are actually not, right? They are actually doing what, boss? They are actually doing what, guys? Come on. They are actually doing what? I want reply, my dear. Objects. Through objects on database, we are doing the activities, right? In all ORM's framework internally generates JDBC code plus database software SQL queries towards completing persistence operation on DB table record. In OR mapping, objects that are representing records can be treated as what? Actors, playing roles of performing one code operation at a time. Once given code operation is over, the object can be used for what? Other code operation, or can be made ready for what? Garbage collection. Can be made ready for what? Garbage collection. Everyone getting my point there or not there? These are the list of ORM software we are talking, guys. Hibernate is, iBait is, TopLink, Link, OJB, and etc. All these are list of ORM softwares are not there. Yeah. Hibernate. These are the different companies. But all these ORM software given based on rules and guidelines of JPA specification. That's why JPA is a theory, ORM framework is the reality. JPA is like a building plan, and ORM frameworks are like buildings that are constructed according to that plan, right, guys? JPA, Java Persistence API is the old name. Jakarta Persistence API is the new name, guys. Are you getting my point there, guys? Okay, look at this. All ORM software or framework internally uses JDBC to generate the JDBC code and SQL queries as required for what? Underlying database software based on the objects-based persistence instruction received from the developers through what? Java application. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Yeah, tell me. In OR mapping, what mapping? In OR mapping, saving object means, tell me. Inserting the data of the object to DB table as a record. Inserting the data of the object to DB table as a record. ORM framework generate JDBC code plus insert SQL query. What query, guys? Load the object means selecting the record from DB table into what? Object. ORM framework generates what? JDBC code plus select SQL query. What query? Okay. Updating object means updating the record that is represented by object. Deleting object means it is not deleting record object, boss. It is deleting the record represented by the object. Are you getting my point there? Super. Check it out. Developer develops OR mapping persistence logic using one or other ORM framework that uses what? JDBC technology, that uses JDBC driver, that will talk to database software or not there. That means observe guys, whenever you are talking to any RDBMS database, nothing but SQL database software, at the top layer you may use X framework, Y framework, Z framework. At the bottom, JDBC will be there sending and executing SQL queries. Why sir? Why sir? Okay. Database understands only SQL query. And to send and execute SQL query from any Java application, the bare minimum thing that is required is JDBC. By seeing this, now tell me, JDBC is outdated or JDBC is underutilized? JDBC not outdated. JDBC is what? Directly not used nowadays. Everyone is using indirectly by taking the support of one or other ORM framework. By taking the support of what? One or other ORM framework. Are you getting my point there, guys? Convinced with me, my dear? Come on. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Super. By taking the support of one or other framework. Super. Though we got multiple persistence layers, okay, in Java for developing persistence logic like Hibernate layer, Spring Data JPA layer, but all these layers internally use JDBC code plus SQL queries to send and execute, perform persistence operation on database software. After all, the database software understands only SQL queries. Are you understanding my statement, guys? The Java Bean class that is mapped to DB table is called what? Model class, or entity class, or domain class, or persistence class. Is JDBC technology outdated? JDB not outdated, but direct utilization is reduced. Indirect utilization is increased. No one is using directly JDBC. Everyone working with a framework. Framework is internally using what? JDBC. Okay, look at this diagram one more time, guys. Programmer develops OR mapping logic, nothing but Hibernate code that uses Hibernate framework, that uses JDBC, that uses JDBC driver, and that will talk to database software. Okay, see guys, someone is eating daily pizza burger and given statement, rice outdated, wheat outdated. We will laugh at them or not? Why? Array, to prepare pizza base, some flour is required. That is maida. Maida is what? Byproduct of wheat or what? Rice flours, right? Yes or no, na guys? To prepare burger bun also, definitely some flour is required. Maida or wheat flour is required. Come on. That is also byproduct of these rice granules or what? Wheat granules are not. So how rice and wheat are not outdated because you are eating pizza burger every day? Since you are working with what? Hibernate, Spring Data JPA, you cannot simply say JDBC is outdated. Except laughing and slapping, I cannot do anything on it. Yes, my dear, it looks like JDBC outdated. I think while learning advanced Java, is your faculty said JDBC outdated or not? Not outdated? Yeah, direct utilization percentage is reduced, only 20%. 80% everyone uses indirectly by using one or other framework, by taking the support of what? One or other framework. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Got the clarity, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yeah. JDBC technology, JDBC driver talks to what? Database software. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Java bean class that is mapped to DB table is called model class, entity class, domain class, persistence class. Is JDBC technology outdated? It is not outdated. It is not directly used, indirect. Advantages of what? OR mapping. What is there? Advantages of OR mapping. Okay, that's good. Tell me, guys. No need of writing SQL queries. Is there any need of writing SQL queries, guys? They will be generated dynamically. Allows to develop objects-based persistence logic as database software independent persistence logic. Everyone getting my point there, guys? We can work with objects what? Directly. No need of SQL queries. Change of database software in project is very easy or not there. We can change from one database software to another database software quite easily or not there. Most of the ORM softwares throw their exception as what? Unchecked exception. Definitely they will be thrown as unchecked exceptions are not there. So that's why no exception handling is also whatever problems are there, all problems are sorted out. Gives select operation records directly as what? List of entity object or a list collection objects, boss. You need not to convert a result set into list of objects. By directly you are getting list of object. So big burden of conversion is gone or not there. So moreover, by default list collection is what, guys? Serializable object. So sending it over the network is quite easy or not? Supports advanced features like what? Caching, versioning. Yeah, we have some advanced features, guys. Caching is, okay, same query you are sending 10 times. 10 times same results coming. What it will do, only one time only it will get the result and remaining 10 times it will collect the results from cache and uses it. Like internal cache kind of thing. Because of that, network round trips between Java application and database software will be reduced drastically or not. The network round trips between what? Java application and database software will be reduced drastically or not there. Say something, my dear. Come on. Keep track of records modification count. Okay. Next, time stamping feature, versioning feature. What about versioning, sir? Hibernate only internally keep track of how many time record is modified. It will maintain count. Time stamping, it can keep track of when record is inserted, when record is lastly accessed and modified. So they are automatically happens, boss. You need not to do anything if you enable the feature. Do you think these features are possible with the JDBC? Possible, but you have to sit and write a lot of coding manually. But in Hibernate, you just enable few annotations. Automatically, database keeps tracking of record modification count, insertion date and time, updation date and time. And also caching is there. So using caching, we can save the object and we can use them across the multiple same requests are not there. Dynamic schema generation. The beautiful, most important, guys. In JDBC, you have to create tables manually, right? But when you design entity class properly, by seeing entity class, table will be generated dynamically. On the class name, table name, on the property name, column name, based on special annotation, special constraints. Very, very interesting or not there? Gives multiple generator. Generally, in primary key column, we will manually put the values or dynamically generated. Okay. Hibernate gives sort of generator so that values to PK column can be assigned dynamically or not. PK means what? Primary key column. FK means what? Foreign. All the problems of JDBC gone. Versioning, time stamping, all these are additional feature. Table generation dynamically is additional feature. Generators to generate the ID values is what? Additional feature. That means problems of JDBC gone and many advantages are there. Mobile phone, super great. World is in your hand, right? But limitations also there. There are not there, I guess. Definitely limitations are there, no doubt in that. Definitely limitations are there, no doubt in that. Yeah, what is the limitation? Okay, don't read, first feel it. In my table, 1,000 records are there. I loaded all the 1,000 records at a time. In JVM memory of the RAM, 1,000 objects memory is required or not? Okay, fine. 1 lakh records are there. In the JVM memory of the RAM, how many objects memory is required? And if 1 lakh records are, 1 lakh objects are there in JVM memory at a time, there is a chance of getting system getting hanged or not. You can bear 100 kg weight, but I asked to lift 150 kg. What happened? You will stuck up. You will stuck up, and that may be last day of the life. You will get hanged up or not there. So RAM also same thing, my dear. JVM memory also same thing. For example, I'm dealing with what? Amazon kind of application. In product table, 3 crore, 4 crore products are there. And I have not applied anything. I asked to display all products. It has generated query to get all the record. So now tell me I'm using Hibernate as my persistence technology or framework. Now tell me 3 crore records are loaded at a time mean 3 crore objects are created for entity class to represent each record one object. 3 to represent 3 crore records, how many objects? 3 crore objects. Then what happen? System will hang, project will hang, computer will hang, right? This is the biggest challenge that we are having or not there? It's the biggest challenge that we are having or not there, guys? Okay, guys. It's the biggest challenge. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone getting my point there, guys. 1 minute. Yeah. So, sir, this is a problem now. Then how it is popular? Because you don't know how to use a ORM. Why are you blaming ORM? You can lift 100 kgs. You lifted 150 and you are blaming what? You are blaming what? Jimmy is bad. Aisa no na? Or you are blaming what? This equipment is bad. First blame yourself, na? You can eat 1 kg biryani, but one day you tried to eat 2 kg biryani and hospitalized. Can you blame biryani is bad? Can you blame us? Okay, biryani maker is bad. Oh, I have eaten that company biryani. That's why I got this problem. Can you blame that? We generally blame that only. Good means my digestion system is great. Bad means that biryani is bad. This is life, na boss? You get the job in campus. My hard work, my planning. Eh? Somehow you did not get bad college. Worst college. My 4 years wasted. That is life. Because we judge opposite person a lot before judging ourselves. Yeah. Yes, I do agree that right now market is bit dry, but it does not mean no opening. Openings are there, but tight openings are there. So that's why my suggestion is don't become panic. As a fresher, wait for your turn. Don't lose small opportunities also. All right. But otherwise, experience in market is always good. If you're ready to show 2 years, 3 years gap as experience, market is always good. Still, so many openings are there, good packages are there. So try as fresher, not working out, become ready to show gap as experience. Right? Okay. Yeah. Tirupati Appala. You are thinking right. I'm okay. You are really thinking right. So the solution for this problem is you design your application for batch by batch loading, right? Though 1 crore records are there, you try to load what? 20,000 records at a time. 20,000 objects can be handled by JVM RAM memory. If you feel that is also big number, what do you do? Okay, try to load 10,000 records at a time. Moreover, in report generation also, can you show all 1 crore records at a time? What Gmail people are doing? Though your inbox is having 10,000 mails, every time when you log in, they try to load all 10,000. No, fresh 50 only they load. Yes or no, na? When you click on previous, then they try to load next 50. So that means they are wasting memory only for first 50. They're using memory for only first 50. If you ask next, previous, then they are loading for what? Another 50. That time they will leaving the first 50. They are working with only one. Next 50. So memory at a time required for how many records? 50. That is the story, na boss. Don't eat entire 1 kg biryani in a single attempt. Okay, you try to eat 3 times in a day. At a time, you can eat what? Half kg biryani. Morning half kg, afternoon half kg, night half kg. So your stomach is ready for that or not there? At a time, 1.5 kg means what? Hospital. Each time half kg means what? Happily eat, happily sleep, again get up, again eat, again sleep. And you after eating biryani, nice sleep will come. Will come or will not come? Tried Hyderabad biryanis? Which biryanis you tried? Huh? I know you are Madhu biryani. I think Madhu biryani is there. Bahar, Bawarchi. Okay. See, Paradise, Bawarchi, all these are outdated. Okay. The one that is really doing well nowadays, consistency, Shagavs. You must try. Nawab biryani. Okay. Behruz, premium biryani in Hyderabad means Behruz. Try these three biryanis. And if you like spicy biryani, okay. So near to Amirpet, there is a biryani called Meghana Spicy Food. Meghana. But be ready to drop some tears from eyes. That much spicy. This is called happy tears. Okay. Or you can try Krutunga. I think Krutunga, you know. Yeah, especially the people non-Hyderabadi, for them I am suggesting this. What about veg biryani? Yeah? I don't consider Hyderabad people don't consider veg people are the people. And vegetarians are the people liking food. Okay, na? Now you see, yesterday one of my friend, he got a dream of staying in Falaknama Palace, like the only 7-star heritage hotel in India. The only 7-star heritage hotel in India. Okay. So, like on his special day, he decided to stay in that hotel for 1-2 days. He allocated budget and other things. It's costly, no doubt. Okay. So they are taking dining. Beside him, one foreigner, because foreigner also feel prestige to stay in that hotel. Okay, one foreigner also came. Somehow that foreigner is converted vegetarian because of health reasons or whatever it is. Right. So the foreigner asked anything for vegetarians. Then because their waiters also well-trained waiters. Okay, in a posh English, we Hyderabadis don't consider vegetarians as their food lovers. And then what about there are items, but anything authentic, anything what? special for vegetarians because they are offering everything authentic Hyderabad food there, like Pattarka Gosh, you might have heard. It's authentic Hyderabad food. And Jafrani biryani. What biryani you are eating? That's a kachra biryani, but original Hyderabad biryani means Jafrani biryani. Jafrani biryani, right? Like this, there are authentic things are there, authentic. But by seeing all these authentic names in non-veg, the foreigner asks, any authentic Hyderabad dishes for what? Vegetarian. And strong reply came from that waiter. Fine. I'm not against of vegetarians. Okay. Yes. You enjoy your grass. I don't have any problem. You enjoy your grass, right? Hmm. Let me modify. You enjoy your green grass like anything. Okay. Hmm. So you have to think about going by what? Batch by batch. See, according to me, in this world, no one is vegetarian. Everyone is directly, indirectly what? Non-vegetarian. You think about the way you take milk. Now, lots of people thinks that only when blood comes, it is non-veg. No blood means no. No blood means vegetarian. Blood, see, you are seeing blood because you are taking life of someone, right? That's why you are worried non-vegetarian means you are killing life. And a lot of scientists proved in plants also life is there. Yes. While eating leafy vegetables, what you are doing? Leafy vegetable, what you are doing? Are you asking a plant, I am taking your one leaf, please give me permission? No, you are killing its life or not there? You are taking its life or not there, guys? Come on, my dear. That's why everyone is non-vegetarian in this world. If you go by life as if you are worried about taking life, that means you are taking the life of plants already. You are, what is that? At the end of every curry, we add something. What is that name? Huh? Kothimira in Hindi it is called what? Coriander. That because we will pick plant by plant and we cut it, right? But they are taking the life of that coriander or not there. Fine. Let's come back. Why is not clear? Dania. Yeah, bania log eat a lot of dania, right? Okay, let's come back to the subject, guys. What is this? Use JDBC while dealing with use number of record because JDBC creates single result set object representing use number of records given by what? Select query. You select 1 lakh record in JDBC, single result set object will come now? No, sir. I don't want to go back to JDBC. Then what do you do? Enable pagination while selecting use number of record. Pagination means don't get all the records at a time. Get the records batch by batch, page by page. Yes or no, guys? That we can limit number of object creation per page basis, like 100, 200 records per page, though you are using ORM. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Database software understands only SQL query. Whatever we use in different layer by getting abstraction like Hibernate, Spring Data, JPA, Spring ORM internally uses dynamically generated JDBC code and SQL query are not there. Super. In Spring Boot programming, we don't use JDBC Hibernate directly. We use them indirectly through what? Spring ORM, Spring Data, JPA module. Convinced, my dear? Okay, guys. Now I am writing the modules in Spring Boot framework. The modules in Spring Boot framework for developing persistence logic. The Spring Boot. What, guys? Framework modules. for developing what guys? Persistence logics. For developing persistence logics. Are you understanding my statement, guys? For developing persistence logic, what they are? Spring JDBC. Okay, Spring or Spring Boot JDBC. Next, Spring or Spring Boot. Spring or Spring Boot Data JPA. Next, Spring or Spring Boot. No. That is for NoSQL. I'm talking about today's SQL. ORM. Total 3 options are there or not there? Check it out. For JDBC style programming in Spring Boot, use Spring JDB, old style. Still we work with JDBC style program. For OR mapping style programming, OR mapping means through objects, mapping class with a table, properties with columns, and making objects representing DB table records. For OR mapping style programming in Spring Boot, use what? Spring ORM legacy style or Spring Data JPA, which is modern style. One is legacy style, one is what? Modern style. Convinced, my dear? Come on. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Okay, see all the 3 options I am giving, guys. Yeah, latest. Developer develops Spring Data JPA logics. What logic? OR mapping logic by using Spring Data JPA. Using what? Spring Data JPA or Spring Boot Data JPA. That internally uses what? Hibernate framework. Hibernate framework. My dear, come on. That uses what? JDBC tech. And that will talk to whom? Database soft. That will talk to whom, guys? Database. That's great. Next, guys. Developer uses Spring Boot application. Super. Yeah, Spring Boot application. Are you getting my point there? Yeah, having what logic, guys? OR mapping persistence logic. Okay. That uses Spring ORM module. Come on. That uses Hibernate. That uses JDBC. That talks to database. So here Spring Data JPA using Hibernate. Here what? Spring ORM using Hibernate. Okay, that's good. Developer uses Spring Boot JDBC persistence logic using SQL query. That uses what? Spring JDBC or Spring Boot JDBC. That internal uses JDBC technology and talks to database software. Simply literally talks to what? Database software. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay. What is full and final conclusion from my side is in Spring Boot, total 3 modules are there to develop persistence logic. You want to write still JDBC style persistence logic having SQL query, but little bit abstraction you are. Spring JDBC or Spring Boot JDBC, right? You want, what guys? You write ORM mapping persistence logic. Then you have Spring ORM, Spring Data JPA. So Spring ORM is already there. Why Spring Data JPA has come? Compared to Spring ORM, Spring Data JPA gives more and more advanced abstraction. In what way I'll explain later. Okay, this is Spring ORM is level 1 abstraction while developing what? Objects-based persistence logic. Spring Data JPA gives level 2, level 3, level 4 abstraction while developing OR mapping persistence logic. So both are there providing abstraction on Hibernate. and simplifying OR mapping persistence logic. Okay, basic abstraction comes in Spring ORM. Advanced abstraction comes in what? Spring Data JPA. Can you tell me, sir? Spring ORM uses Hibernate, but still I need to write the persistence logic by opening by developing the DAO interface, DAO implies need to write the logic. While writing logic, I can enjoy the abstraction, right? In Spring Data JPA, in the interface, you just declare the method, implementation class generation, methods implementation, having persistence logic is internally taken care. That means in Spring ORM, DAO interface, DAO IMPL class, both I need to develop. In Spring Data JPA, I develop DAO interface. I declare the methods inside the interface by following some naming convention. You don't believe total implementation class, total implementation of methods, everything is taken care by whom? Everything is taken care by whom? Data JPA. That means you are just declaring method, total persistence logic is coming. It is going to save a lot of time now, my dear. Declaring methods is easier. Declaring method and implementing methods is easier. Declaring methods is easy. That means in Spring Data JPA, all you are going to do is what? Just declaration of the methods are not there. It's something like this. Washing clothes with the hands without using any detergent soap is like working with a plain JDBC. Your advanced Java JDBC, Rababu. All dirty work. Class dot for name, load driver class, connection, everything you have to do it. Esa no na. You like it that dirty work because you don't know smart work. Fine. Spring JDBC is like washing clothes with the detergent soap. Wash with the hands only you are washing, but taking the support of what? Detergent. Somewhat easiness, but still dirty work is there. Spoiling your hands is there, right? Yeah. Spring ORM is like washing clothes with semi-automated washing machine. Semi means good, but not great. Everything you have to set. This you set manually, that you set manually. You have to pour water manually. You have to know how much powder you have to add manually. But main work it will do, but every parameter you have to decide only. If jeans type this much water, this kind of powder in this direction, everything you have to decide only, right? You have a nice foot, my dear. You have a nice foot. Nice, great foot. Concentrate, Ravarasta fella. He is showing and he is watching. Ah, you love the foot that much, yeah? Ah, Rasta fella. He is watching as a museum item. Concentrate. It's a boy watching boy foot. You are sending wrong signals to society. Okay, come back. Okay, boss. Next one. Just kidding. Don't take seriously. Fine. Okay. Next one is what? Spring Data JPA is like washing clothes with a fully automated wash. Switch on, keep the clothes. Only these two things your work. Which mode, how much washing powder is required, how much water is required, how much time the spindle has to be rotated. All the decisions are taken care internally. You need not to worry about those decision making. Is it not interesting, my dear? Is it not interesting, my dear? I want reply, guys. Everyone understanding my statement or not there? Spring Boot ORM, Spring Boot Data JPA. Is that clear, guys? Okay, that's good. Great. Springboard. This is ORM. Next one, guys. Springboard data JPA. Yeah, Spring JDBC, Springboard JDBC provides abstraction on what? And simplifies application development, but JDBC style SQL queries logic only. Springboot ORM provides abstraction on what? Hibernate. And simplifies what? Application development. What development, guys? OR mapping persistence logic development. What is there? OR mapping persistence logic development, guys. Next. Springboot data JPA provides what? More abstraction on Hibernate ORM software to simplify application development more and more. This also helps us to simplify persistence logic in ORM style or not there. Sir, you are using one word called entity class and I already know DAO class. Listen, entity class is not required in JDBC coding. Why? Because there's no need of linking object with class. I mean, it's a record with class, right? Record with object. Record with object. Are you going to link, guys? No. DAO class means what? It's a class where persistence laws. That can be JDBC, Hibernate, JPA, anything. That's a DAO class. It's a class that contains persistence. What is entity class? Entity class wording is there only in OR mapping persistence class, where each object of entity class represents one record having synchronization. Any modification in object reflects to record. Any modification in records reflects to object. Any modification in object reflects to record. Any modification in what? Record reflects to what? Up. Is that clear, my dear? Come on. Understanding my statement or not there? What is the difference between entity class and DAO class? Entity class is Java Bean class whose objects represent DB table rows. These objects can be used for persistence operation. DAO class is Java class that contain persistence logic to perform code operation. These persistence logic can be written by using objects of entity class or using JDBC code. In ORM style means using objects of entity class only we write. Entity class objects are Java class objects who actually represents what? DB table records in OR mapping persistence logic development. We place objects based persistence logic, okay, in separate class called DAO class. Array, very simple. In OR mapping, DAO class contains persistence logic with the support of what? Entity class objects. In JDBC programming, DAO class contains JDBC persistence logic with direct Java statement, no entity class are required. So that means, so both are replacement to each other or both are complementing each other. In fact, while developing DAO class, any persistence logic of OR mapping, entity class objects are going to be there. After all, they represent DB table records are not there. It's something like this, guys. DAO class is biryani, okay, and entity class is one ingredient of preparing biryani. Maybe rice or chicken kind of. Are you getting my point there? Because while writing logics of DAO class in OR mapping style, either using Hibernate or Spring Data JP or Spring ORM, these entity class objects are required. So entity class is supporting class in DAO class, especially while writing what? OR mapping persistence logic are not there. OR mapping persistence logic are not there, guys. Conclusion. I think same thing I have given, guys. Developing IO streams based persistence logic is like washing clothes with hands, that too without detergent powder. JDBC technology, washing clothes with detergent powder. Hibernate, washing clothes with a semi-automated washing machine. ORMR data JPA is like what? Washing clothes with a fully automated washing machine. What is Spring Data module? Spring Data or Spring Boot data module is having 30 plus submodule providing unified model of what? Abstraction on various technologies and framework to interact with what? Both SQL and NoSQL database software. See, Spring Data module is not just given to talk with what? SQL and NoSQL database. Sorry, only SQL. It can be used both SQL and NoSQL. That's why it has given different submodule to interact with the different types of database software. To talk with all SQL database software, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Spring Data, JPA. To talk to MongoDB, Spring Data, MongoDB. All NoSQL are not same time, guys. That's why for each NoSQL separate submodule. Spring Data, MongoDB, Spring Data, Cassandra, Spring Data, Neo4j, Spring Data X, Spring Data YJ. Working with the Spring Data and its submodule is like working with one universal remote to operate various electronic devices of the home. Okay, now listen. Before arrival of Spring Data module, you want to talk to Oracle, separate module. MySQL, okay. MongoDB, separate module. Cassandra, separate module. But Spring Data is such a module which can be used to talk with what? Both SQL and NoSQL database software. It's like working with a universal remote or not there. So before arrival of universal remote concept or home automation concept, to operate TV remote, to operate what? AC remote, to operate fan remote, to operate refrigerator remote, lights remote. Nowadays everywhere remote is come. But if you purchase only home automation device like Alexa, or if you purchase what? A universal remote, using one remote, you can operate any house in the, any item in the house or not there. Using one universal remote, you can operate any item in the house or not there. Spring Data is a one module using which we can talk with both SQL and NoSQL database software or not there. Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. Yeah, where is this, guys? Seven p.m. New folder. Spring Boot data JPA. Spring Boot data JPA. Right click, file upload, class content, Spring. Where is this? Spring Boot data JPA. Session how much, guys? I'll change this. Fourth one. Yeah. Let me save this document. Yeah, today is just introduction to OR mapping. What is OR mapping? Single line word. One are presenting one record and developing objects based persistence logic. Detailed one, the process of mapping class with table, class properties with what? Table column, and making objects of the class representing DB table record is called what? OR. Is called what? OR mapping. Understanding my statement or not? That's great. Fine, but don't miss tomorrow's session because whenever I launch module, I take time to get into coding. Tomorrow, Before arrival of Spring Data module, how was the story in Spring for communicating with the SQL, NoSQL database software? After arrival of Spring Data module, what is benefited? Already I have given this, but tomorrow we are going to discuss more and more elaborately. That's a point number one. Point number two. Spring ORM, OR mapping process. Spring Data JPA, OR mapping. Already little hint I have given, but when data ORM module was already there, why what made them to give what? Spring Boot data JPA. What made them to give what? Spring Boot data JPA. That is also we are going to discuss, guys. Come on, guys, everyone. Right? That's good, guys. We'll meet tomorrow and we will discuss that. Tomorrow I'm going to prepare. Okay. Raitana. What is this Raitara? Fine. Whatever it is,